voices shouting through the night. Static hum that shakes the ground. Riff Nation rising loud, profound. Feel the fire, feel the fight. We're the shadows in the night. Crashing waves, we take the stage. Unleash the fury, turn the page. Steel strings, scream the truth we bring. Echoed chaos, hearts that sting. Electric veins that feed the roar. Harder, faster, crave for more. Dust and sparks ignite the air. Shattered silence, do we dare? Tidal force, relentless stream. We're the edge, we're the dream. Feel the fire, feel the fight. We're the shadows in the night. Crashing waves, we take the stage. Unleash the fury, turn the page. Riff Nation, hold the line. In the chaos, we align. Through the storm, through the pain. We're the anthem in your veins. Feel the fire, feel the fight. We're the shadows in the night. Crashing waves, we take the stage. Unleash the fury, turn the page. Riff Nation, hold the line. In the chaos, we align. Through the storm, through the pain. We're the anthem in your veins.
The engine is self-starting.
For launch, GC, go. Guidance, go. Fido, go. Prop, go. GNC, go. Max,
Go.
Eagle, go. Ecom.
Go pending final steps to cabin link check.
2, 1.
Is there anyone here that would like to communicate with us? Can you give us a sign?
Welcome to the Riff Nation Network, the RNN, putting a slide in your glide and a dip in your hip. Welcome to the mothership, the home of the travelers of the universe. With shows throughout the week, you can find us at Instagram, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, and more. Everything you could want, everything you can need right here, right now. From the paranormal to the supernatural. From comedy to the spiritual. And now, your featured show. Shall we begin?
It's showtime, folks!
Podcast may contain material that some listeners may find sensitive, offensive, or disturbing. We strive to create respectful and informative content, but topics discussed may include mature themes such as violence, explicit language, or controversial subjects, triggering content including discussions related to mental health, trauma, or other sensitive issues, explicit language. Occasionally, our guests or hosts may use strong language. While we aim to handle these topics with care and empathy, we encourage listeners to exercise discretion. If you find any content distressing, consider skipping or seeking support. Remember that this podcast is not a substitute for professional advice. If you need assistance, please consult a qualified expert.
Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to the Rift Nation Network. I am your host, Joni Skinner. Tonight, Mysteries Beyond the Scenes, True Crime, Forensic Astrology Wednesday, 8 p.m. live streaming on YouTube, Facebook. I hope y'all are doing well. How are y'all doing? Welcome. Well, happy Wednesday, everybody. You know, it was so weird. Like, for April. I mean, it's already May, right? Oops, sorry about that. It's already May 1st. Well, kind of, April 30th. And like all through April, it was Friday. Like I would go from Monday and it was Friday. I'm like, what is going on? I would get to work and and then it was like 4:00, ready to leave. I'm like, what? This is crazy. And then all of a sudden it just kind of stopped. And now I'm like, wait, it's just Wednesday. I remember Monday and Tuesday, and it just was like flying. And then all of a sudden it just leveled off. And I'm like, I always, when that kind of stuff happens, I just look up to the moon and I'm like, I get it. I get it. I get it. I look at it. I'm obsessed with this. And I'm like, I get it. I see it. I know it. I get it. But so I looked at May's astrology, right? I said, we got to get through April. We got to get through April. May, and we're kind of seeing all of the stuff is panning out here for our Canadian friends from what has been just culminating here since Pluto returned. And now it's kind of like, here we go. But May and June, we get to rest. May and June, May, we have a couple of things. That's it. But we're down. You can feel it now. It's calmer. It's like, okay, so now take the opportunity to rest. I'm telling you now, take this opportunity to rest up. May and June, you rest up because I can't, well, June is a little less, but July is off the charts. July is going to be our big month. And why wouldn't it? In America, July 4th, one of our biggest transits, believe it or not, is July 4th on America's 250th birthday. I can't make this up. I cannot make up these transits. Because now I look at it and I'm like, I can't make this up. I've seen it so many times on just dates that are, and we know, here's what's funny. We know that the forefathers in America were astrologers. We know Ben Franklin was. He wrote about it in his publication. He always talked about eclipses. Thomas Jefferson carried around a telescope in his pocket. We know that George Washington saw spirits. That's in the congressional records that he had visions. So we know that they were spiritual people. We know they were all astrologers. But how much of this did Ben Franklin figure out prior to, like, the birthday? All this stuff falls on dates that it's like, what? Just, it's weird. Very weird. But weird is okay. I hope you guys are doing well. We made it through April. Thank goodness. I'm just happy as a Libra. I made it through April. April was weird. It wasn't it, Cindy? Cindy will attest to it. My fellow Libra stellium friend, Cindy. Hello, Miss Lee. How are you, Miss Lois? Lois, girls, you're going to love this show tonight. I thought of you girls when I was doing this, when I was prepping for the show, y'all. I thought of you guys because I know that you guys love forensic astrology. And I wanted, this particular case is just very tragic, right? We know how it turned out. We know he was caught. We know but we also know, like I told y'all last week, he had on an ankle monitor the entire time he was committing this crime. So guess what? He was monitored. We have timestamps. We also have where they went to 3 ATMs. So we've got those timestamps. We have timestamps from his monitor, from his ankle monitor. So I thought, we know where she was abducted. We know where they went. We know what happened. We know what happened at the trial. I'm going to, and this is good for people that are studying or want to learn forensic astrology. Find a case that has timestamps like this, because y'all know that when the timestamp is accurate, the chart and the mapping is it will literally take you to where that person is. And I thought, okay, I'm gonna just to keep up skills and to just kind of test it a little bit. I love to push the limit and see how it works out. And you're not going to be disappointed. If the timestamp, that's why astrology is so fascinating, because of the accuracy, but you've got to have the timestamp. Without the timestamp, we can't say for sure of the accuracy. When you see this accuracy with the accuracy that we had from his monitor and the timestamps, you will flip out. So I think this is great for you guys that are, it's a great study tool. If you're practicing with forensic astrology, find a case exactly like this one, because this will, but how many cases are like this? Not many. Lately, they have been because of ring cameras. Since I started doing this, you would not believe what we would go by and how long it would take for us to find timestamps. Now we have AI. AI gathers up all of the press releases, the pressers, all that information, and you have a timestamp within minutes. Now AI is like, what chart are you working on now? So it's really weird, because now AI knows what I'm looking for. Do we have an address for them? No, not yet. I'll let you know when we do. I got it. My assistant's AI. It's really sick. I'm obsessed. How is everybody tonight? Hello, Miss Kathy. Prayers up for Kathy. She had her other eye operated on. Oh, absolutely. Send prayers to our friend Kathy. Hope she's doing well. Hello, Miss Lois. How are you? I hope Tammy's been doing okay. I have been also monitoring Texas too. Texas, Oklahoma. Holly is one of our gals in our group. And if you're just joining us and you're on Facebook or on YouTube viewing and you want to learn astrology, I have a private page on Facebook. It's called Astrology the Series. Please join our group. It's astrology, all kinds of astrology, learning. We talk astrology. We're learning astrology. Please join our group. And Holly is in our group. And she's in Oklahoma. She was right in the heart of all those horrific tornadoes. We had one night, and I've never had storms where they started about 8 o'clock and they went to about 2 a.m. All night long, Sunday night storms. Crazy. It's just absolutely crazy weather. I'm doing great. Hello, Miss Cindy. How are you? How's things going, everybody? Hi, Keith. Thank you. And don't forget, y'all, if you want to talk about just regular astrology, Keith's show, The Otter's Den, every other Monday. On this Monday. I don't know what we're going to talk about, because May is going to be pretty boring. May astrology is going to be boring. I like boring. Hello, Denise. Happy Wednesday. I know. April was crazy. I keep getting emails from people and they're like, what happened? Where was April? And I'm like, oh, you don't want to know. It was all the Aries energy. one doctor, the one doctor I went to last Friday, a couple Fridays ago, she's like, please explain this Aries energy to me. She's great. She's all into all the health and all that stuff and healthy medicine. I love her. She's great. What's up with the weather here? Oh, I don't know. You guys are, what's going on with you guys? Do you have snow or something? We have really, knock on wood, we've not had one tornado siren this year. And y'all know I was going in the bathroom with Maggie Noodles just about every other day, going into the bathroom. That's the only safe place I've got when the sirens go off. And she hates being in there. She screams. She hates it. I can't keep the days straight. Cindy, have you felt it calm down though? Just recently, I have just felt it like just kind of, it's like in a lull. I like it. I'll take it. I need that. Hello, Miss Linda. How are you? I hope you guys are doing okay. And we have fires down in Georgia. I hope they got some rain. Thanks for sharing out, Miss Linda. Thank you. Rain and more rain. Hey, send it down to Georgia. We had rain too. We needed the rain. We were getting a little dry. A little bit slower. It's going to really, the moon is in Libra, Cindy. So you should, it goes into Scorpio. We have a big Scorpio full moon coming up. We have 2 full moons in May, by the way. And don't listen to any fear if there is anything. It's kind of normal. It happens. It happens. Thanks for the shout out. Oh, you're welcome, hon. Thanks, Linda, for sharing out. This case, y'all, is very interesting. And I don't know if you guys were aware of Prince Charles and Queen Camilla visited America this week. I like the royal family. Why do I like the royal family? Because I'm a Libra and we love fashion and we love tiaras and we love jewelry and we love all the ball gowns. We love all that stuff. So we love the dinners. We love the fancy stuff. We love ceremony. We love the pomp. We love it all. So I loved the dresses. I thought the girls were gorgeous in their outfits. I watched that. But I know that we had checked Prince Charles's chart. What was that, Denise? Like about a year ago, maybe? And we knew he was ill, right? We know he's not, he doesn't, I don't know if it's terminal, if that's what you want to call it, but it's his, I'm not sure, but he's not in great health, but he looked good, fine to me. So I've got his chart to look at the end of this, this case. It's an interesting chart because I know I talk about the lunar nodes all the time. And I know as soon as you guys see this chart, you're going to be like, wow. You know, it was funny because he's got, I didn't really notice this until I watched them do their speeches and their dinners. He's got this bond with Trump. They really like each other. And I thought, why do they like each other so much? They're like BFFs. And I'm thinking, why are they such besties? Because, you know, I love London. It's one of my, it's probably, I don't know, it's one of my favorite cities in all of the world. I love London and I love the British people. And I thought they're just so nice. But when you see his chart, guess what? Charles is a Leo rising. That's right, 2 peas in a pod. I thought, well, there we go. That's how they got their buddies. Hi, I forgot. Joe, forget us. You can't forget us, Tammy. We're every Wednesday. Miss Cindy's got some news. I got invited to do a radio interview to kick off mental health awareness. How wonderful. See, we knew, remember, this would kick off like crazy. Congratulations. I hope you tape it. Can you tape it? Or will it be on YouTube or something? Well, that's fantastic. Let us know when it is. Keep us updated. What's wonderful. Energy is a big thing. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. It's good, and we're going to get more of it with Uranus going into Gemini. It's going to explode. Astrology is going to explode. It is. Well, let's get. I will not sure. Yeah, definitely keep us posted. There's got to be. I hope you can tape it. Well, I think that's fantastic, hon. Proud. I'm so proud of you. I'm proud of you, Miss Cindy. You go. You go with your energy. I love it. I love it. It's good for people. People don't understand what takes their energy down, Cindy. They don't understand that it's so important that what you feed into your body, what you feed into your mind, what you listen to, what you take in, makes your energy vibration go up and down. When you hear fear, your energy, when you turn on the TV and it's fear, 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 your vibrational level will bottom out. And how do you get your energy? How do you get your vibrational level up? Music, laughter. Laughter is the best thing. Sound, meditation, go outside. Laughter is one of the highest things, though. Joy. So be mindful of energy and what it's doing. So be careful of it. Be careful what you allow in. Put a big light around your energy and don't allow that crap in, especially fear. So, well, let's talk about this. I want to show you all this. I know Lois, Cindy, Denise, you girls, you're going to love this. You're going to love this. And I know Crystal tunes in. She works, but she watches on YouTube. So this is just a very interesting case. You may have heard of this case, y'all. It was a 2017 case. And this is Reagan Tokes. Now, Reagan is from our area, my area. And she was in college. Look how beautiful she is. Up at Ohio State. She was an Ohio State Buckeye. She was 21 years old. This is 2017. She was just getting ready to graduate psychology. Reagan Delaney Tokes. She was born March 13th, Pisces. So, and here's a picture of her beautiful mother. And let's tell her story. So, Reagan worked at a restaurant in downtown Columbus, Ohio. And on the night of February the 8th in 2017, it was called the Bodego. It's a little restaurant bar type place. Ohio State's a huge college town. And she had gotten off work around 10 o'clock at night. She's walking to her car. So this man right here, I sometimes I don't even want to give their names because it almost gives them energy. And I don't even want to, these people they're not even animals. They're demonic people. But his name is Brian. Let's just keep it at Brian. I don't even want to give that energy out. So here's Brian. And let me give you some background on Brian. Brian was released from prison after serving a 6-year sentence. He kidnapped a pregnant woman and her child. He R'd her, and he pled out to robbery and attempted R. Kidnapping and R in front of the child, a mother, but he pled down to robbery and attempted R. So he got a 6-year sentence. So he was staying in temporary housing. He was given a tracker, a GPS tracker upon release. And the program was for ex-offenders. But due to his criminal past and violence in prison, they didn't monitor him, but gave him the GPS, but didn't monitor him. He had 52 infractions. 52 infractions in the penitentiary. He was problematic. He was switched prisons several times due to his issues. He was released into temporary housing. The parole officer did not monitor him. He had committed 6 robberies. 6 robberies without being arrested. 6 robberies. Right? 6 robberies. Was not being monitored. Was not being monitored in parole. Had parole violations. Repeated parole violations. So that's his background. So Reagan was headed to her car. He proceeded to abduct her. There he is at trial. Now, following her unaliving and horrific homicide, her parents fought very, very hard with the Ohio legislator to get a bill to fix GPS monitoring failures. And it didn't go into law for it took them 9 years following her homicide. Check this out. There were groups out there that got angry because Ohio's Reagan Tokes law kept people in prison longer. So it was in response to the unaliving of Reagan, but it gave the judge the ability to give the person their okay, so if they have a maximum and a minimum sentence, if they act up in prison, the judge can slam the maximum prison on them for breaking rules like this guy did. But there were groups out there that said, oh, people are staying in jail longer. Really? Okay. So they should. So I'm going to show you guys what happened is she was taken to 3 ATMs where he pulled a gun on her, took her to 3 ATMs to try to get money out. They couldn't. They went back to another ATM. They got the money out, went to a gas station. He R'd her on a street in the car, and then he told her to drive to a park. Apparently said he was going to let her go. She gets out of the car, and he proceeds to pow to the back of the head, and she was found the next morning. He stole her car, took it to his girlfriend's house, tried to catch the car on fire, gave his girlfriend her purse and her wallet as a present, right? She was found the next day, and through all of this digital evidence that they had, they found cigarette butts in her car. They found her car. Looked like somebody had tried to catch it on fire. They found cigarette butts in the car, found his DNA. He was arrested. Wait, this happened on February the 8th. He was arrested, I think, on the 11th or the 13th, February 13th. He was arrested. Of course, the jury found him guilty on all counts. So he is now life without parole in the penitentiary. So that's the horrible story. That's the horrible, horrible story of Reagan. Again, somebody that was released that shouldn't. I mean, the whole system failed Reagan from the get-go. The entire system. It's very sad. So here is, so we know, okay, that she was abducted by gunpoint at 10 p.m. coming out and walking down by the bodega. So look at her chart, okay? So she, of course, is the victim. We're going to look at the first house, right? Which is Libra. What planet rules Libra? Venus. Venus is located in the 6th house. Well, yeah, she was at work. She had just gotten off work, right? We look at the degrees of the ascendant. So it's 9. It's a 9. It's either 0.9 miles, 90 miles, or 9 miles, right? So let's look over to the perp. Aries. Aries is the perp. Represented what is the ruler of Aries? Mars. Well. Mars is in the 6th house. Look, he abducts her at her work, close to her work, right next to each other. It's right there in the chart. So we've got that chart. This is the abduction chart. So the abduction chart is telling us, right? The abduction chart is telling us the perp got her near her work. Okay, let's say we don't know how this is. Let's say we don't know how this turned out. So we don't know how this turned out. So we need to look 9 miles. Remember that when we look at the mapping. Remember this in the mapping. So we know now that she was unalived at 11:55 p.m. at Sciota Park. Sciota Park. Guess how many miles Sciota Park is from where she was abducted? Remember the last chart? 9 miles. So the ascendant told us 9 miles. So what I did is, I know that she was unalived. I thought, I'm going to do 2 maps. I'm going to do 2 circles. One when she was abducted and one after from the park. Okay? So we look at the victim, which is Reagan. It's Scorpio. Scorpio is represented by Mars. So we've got 6th house. Now, the perp is Venus because it's Taurus in the 7th house. They're still together at 11:55. Look at the 6th house. It's now in Aries, right? So it's 2 degrees is the ascendant. It's 2 miles, 20 miles, or 0.20 miles. Guess what? From the park to where the perp went after he shot her is 2 miles. From the park to his house, and he's represented by Venus, because now he's Taurus, right? 4 degrees. That line went right to his house. I'm not kidding. I'm going to show it to you. Right next to where her car was, guess what? Mars. Her car was located at the Mars line of 8 degrees from the park. So the astrology showed us, check this out. I'm going to show you her natal chart too. Okay, so here we go. Here's our chart. So the bodega is the red circle. Okay, the red circle is the bodega where she was abducted. So I drew the circle for the 9 miles it took us to the park. But remember, we have like 12, let's see, 12, about 14 lines to draw. So it's hard to figure out. But from the bodega, the red line straight down, and that was that line, went right to the park. See the red arrow? So from 10 o'clock is the red chart. The the blue chart is midnight when she was unalived. So we start up at the bodega. The red line took us to the park, 2 miles down. So what line took us down to the park? It was the midheaven line. What's the midheaven? The midheaven line shows us that she was out in view in the public, right next to the moon. That line was at Leo. It was 187 bearings down. It went right to the park. So the midheaven told us she's out in the open, and the moon is the co-ruler. So if we go back to that chart, the bodega chart, up at that midheaven by that moon is where she was found from the park. Here's our mileage. It's crazy. Let me get it. Okay, so there's our 2 charts. I got another one. Okay, so here's a larger one. So that was from the bodega down. So I did a chart from the park. And remember, it was the 2 because the ascendant showed us 2 degrees. So if you can see, the blue circle is 2 degrees. So when we look at the first arrow to the right, the first blue arrow to the right is the Venus line of 4 degrees, right? That's where he lived, on Forest Street. If we go down to the 8 degrees, that's where the car was found. Mars can be a car, but it's also her. It's in Aries. He tried to catch the car on fire. This chart literally told us everything. Not only that, but in this park chart, it told us again that she was at the bodega because another line went back up to the bodega. So both of these maps both of these charts, which is the start of her night and to the end of really her life, told the story. And boy, did it tell the story. So not only did from the bodega to the park, we had a line from that chart, but from the park, we had another line that went back up to the bodega saying she was at work. Here's the perp, here's her car. Both of these maps hit exactly on mileage. And both of them hit where she was found. Now, this one kind of blew me away because the accuracy, I never know. Like, I knew where the park was, so I always put the little pins in first, right? And then now, because I've done this so many times, I know what numbers are going to be around where Forest Street was. I kind of know what the number is going to be, like 8 or 4, because it's like a clock. Goes around. The bearings are like a clock. So you kind of get an idea, but you never know it's going to be exact. This one blew my mind. It went right to the park. So that, this is such a horrendous story. And, I mean, he had his GPS on the entire time. But I guess these criminals think they're going to get away with everything. Oh my God, it's so horrible. Life sentence isn't enough for what she went through. No, no, it is not. It is not. It's just, and it could have been, it could have been, it could have been avoided. That's not right. No, they knew he was bad like that when he was getting out of prison. I don't know how these people can let these people out on the streets and not know that they're going. They know they're going to commit a crime. How do they sleep at night? Not allowing us to be. How do they sleep? How do these people sleep at night? How did this? How does this parole officer feel? I don't understand it. I just don't. I don't. But do you guys have any questions on this? I thought it was just, it's remarkable to see. Congrats, Cindy. Yeah, it's great. It's remarkable to see how accurate when you, and this is great practice for you guys that are practicing and studying. Whoops, that's Charles. That you're studying forensic astrology. It's not difficult to learn because it is an exact science. So just what else did the, and I can go into what else the chart told us, but, anytime you see like Aries or Leo or Sagittarius, we know there's fire because that's a fire sign. So fire, he tried to catch the car on fire. So, I mean, and she was found out in the open. It's all there. It's just horrible. It's a horrible, horrible thing. But those are the cases that you all to practice and look up. It's really good. It's a good tool to learn forensic astrology. And she was out in the open. She was found immediately. So let's take a look at her natal chart. We always look at the natal chart. I didn't have a time, but I used noon. She was born in Edgewood, Kentucky. And of course, I always look for the lunar nodes, right? Never fails, does it? The transit north node was opposing her midheaven. This transit south node was was opposing? It was opposing her north node was opposing her midheaven. The south node was conjuncting her midheaven, right? Neptune was conjunct Sun and Saturn. Mars was conjunct the moon. Mars was square her rising. Remember, the rising is the physical body. Saturn was square Chiron. Chiron can be wounds to the physical body. South node was squaring Pluto, and the north node was squaring Pluto. So this natal chart, Mars was conjunct the moon. Her natal chart was just triggered. It's on fire. It was absolutely triggered. And it's always the lunar nodes. So you can see her chart was just, and it was all nasty transits. It was either oppositions or squares. And it's not just one. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 7 or 8 in that time frame. So, and Mars was in there too. We had the north node opposing that midheaven. I mean, it's always there. It's always there. So that's another lunar node. We look at them every week. We look at the natal charts, and the nodes are always triggered. Parole officers are not doing their job. It makes me feel so much rage that criminals are given more rights and consideration than they give their victims. Oh, amen. Amen. It's true. Nothing makes me madder, Linda, and I don't know what we as citizens can really do. The angel families where they have lost, of course they've lost young men too, but the majority of our angel families in the United States have young women. And they're I don't know how our angel families aren't treated like royalty here. I don't understand it. I don't. I don't. It does. It makes me rage. I get rage too, Linda, and I have seen it worsen over the decades of doing cases and looking at true crime, and I've never seen where the judiciary has blatantly allowed criminals back out on the streets. And if you look at where they've gone in, and they cleaned up Memphis, and Memphis is very safe now. DC is very safe now. And what they found, and you look at the reporting and look at the numbers, is that these are repeat criminals. There aren't that many criminals out there committing the crimes. It's just that these repeat criminals are released and let out. And they repeat and repeat. And we're looking at 30 crimes, and they still let them out. But when they lock them up, all of a sudden the crime rate drops drastically. So there's a smaller percentage of criminals out there that are repeating and repeating. They know they get away with it. It's like these young kids that are getting out and doing the car stuff at night in some of these cities where they're doing, what kids do. What kids do, they carry on, but they allow the kids to do it. And now, we're going to put up a curfew. Well, curfew ain't going to do it. Lock them up. So I get you, Linda. The criminals get more consideration. I don't understand it. I don't know what we could do. The angel families are very, very loud, and they're very vocal. Push for. The thing about it is, it's local. This is why I always say, and I've said it, and you guys have heard me preach this. We have elections coming up in November. Your state attorney general election is the most important person you will vote for. Your local judges are the most important people that you need to look up, study their records, look them up. Attorney generals in your state are more important than a governor. I kid you not. It's your safety. You guys have heard me say it over and over again. The AG of your state is the most powerful person. That it's your safety. What's more important than your safety? So that's what's really important. So make sure between now and November you look up, see who's going to be running, and look at their record. If they've never been a prosecutor or they're not hard on crime, don't vote for them. They'll let them out. They released thousands in New York City. I think it was 8,000. They released them. Okay, that makes it safe. Jeez. So, isn't that fascinating, y'all? I thought it was just something else to see. That's how important a timestamp is. So practice that and look at it, and not to take away that this was not a horrific crime. And kudos to her mother and father who took years to get this law passed, but they did it. They did it. We have the Lake and Riley Act too, down in Georgia. That was another one that passed. So there's a little bit. So, okay, y'all, let's take a look very quickly in the last couple of minutes that we have at King Charles's chart. You guys are going to find this fascinating. Now, again, we talk about the lunar nodes, right? Now, when King Charles was found out about his illness, look at the red arrow. Pluto was in the house of health is the 6th house, right? Also, the 1st house is very important because that's your physical body. So Pluto was transiting in his house of health. So it's now out of there. However, look at that pink line in the middle of his chart right now. That's Pisces up there in the 8th house. That's the North Node transiting. Remember, the lunar nodes travel backward. So the lunar nodes are headed into Aquarius, Leo. His North Node is going into Aquarius. So what happens to Leo? The transiting South Node is going to be hitting his 1st house, right? South node is usually karma, things we get rid of. It can also be loss. The North Node is the luckier placement in your transiting chart, is the North Node. Okay, it's your soul contract, your destiny. He's a rising Leo. What is the sign of a king? It's Leo, right? Royalty. So that South Node in July 28th, 2026 is going to be moving into his 1st house of health. 1st house of health, right? Now, because they go backward, it starts at a higher degree. So that node is going to be at 29 degrees, right? If you look at his birth chart, his ascendant, okay, when will it hit his ascendant is at 5 degrees. Okay, so that transiting South Node will not hit his ascendant until November of 2027. However, it'll hit 29 degrees on, okay, the nodes shift on July 28th, 2026. This doesn't really hit into his chart until April of 2027, when the North Node will be opposing Pluto and the South Node will be conjunct on Pluto in his chart. That's going to be a crucial time to look for. Okay, with Pluto's transformation in a chart. We also see that the South Node in November of 2027, South Node will be conjunct on his ascendant. It will be opposing his ascendant, the North Node. I have had a direct hit on my ascendant. Health issues that you neglect will pop up if it hits your ascendant. I can attest to it because it did happen to me, and I've read that, and it happened to me. But he's under a lot of care. But these are going to be crucial times for him to not be traveling, to be restful, and we'll just have to watch and see. But I don't like the nodes transiting in somebody's rising sign when they've got a terminal illness. I just, So we're going to watch it. We'll see. But it's 2027. We'll just say our prayers for him. What else? And what else is going to be going on with him? Pluto will be squaring his moon. Pluto will be squaring his Mercury. Right now, Saturn is opposing the transit North Node. Saturn in his chart in the 2nd house is getting North Node, South Node. So we'll watch that for now. And then we'll look out for, 2027. So we'll keep an eye on him. I just wish him well. But that's how you look for the health things in a chart. Usually 6th house, 1st house. But, you know, and you know what's funny is he's a rising Leo, and the South Node is going to be in Leo. That doesn't really mean anything. I thought that was interesting. We'll have to keep an eye on it and see. Where's Chiron? And we look at Chiron too. So Chiron will be it's up at his kind of his top of his chart in Aries. So we'll keep an eye on him. But that's how you look at that if you want to look at different things in a chart. Look at that beautiful trine in his chart. Remember, famous people, usually a packed 10th house is North Node, destined to be steady. And he's lived out his destiny. He's very steady. He's very secure, and he's very calming. And he's got a moon in Taurus. So his emotions are, he's calming. So he's really pushed. I feel like he's worked his North Node out, but maybe I'm completely wrong. But the royalty's written all over there, all over his chart with that rising, Leo rising. Sun in Scorpio. That's interesting too, isn't it? But that trine's beautiful. Trine is beautiful. Hitting his money house, that grand trine. So do y'all have anything else you want to say? What's Keith? Here we go, Keith. It's the blue reps, judges that are letting these. I don't understand it. It doesn't happen here. So knock on wood. This is not a good place to break the law. You get in trouble. You get in trouble here if you break the law. You go to jail. They don't mess with it. I mean, we don't have the crime that So do y'all have anything else you want to share with do y'all have anything else you want to share? How'd you do this week? We got like 2 minutes left. Don't forget Cindy's show on Monday nights. Monday nights at 9 for her energy work. The bowls, the sound bowls, the sound therapy, and then of course Keith. I'll be on with Keith Monday night. We'll be talking about astrology and what's coming up. And don't forget, if you want to learn astrology, please join our group. We have a great group, don't we, girls and boys? We have a great private group. Share astrology, learn astrology. Everybody's more than welcome. I hope you guys found that interesting. It's a little bit different way to look at a case. This was an interesting case that I think everybody should be aware of. Look what this family went through with this. You know, this is their lovely, beautiful daughter, and this guy was out walking the street. I don't understand it either. Oh, you're welcome, Miss Tammy. You guys stay very, very safe down there in Texas. I've been watching y'all with the tornadoes. We've been listening to Max Velocity and Ryan Hall. We've been watching the storm chasers too. We are very weather alert during tornado season here. We have to be. You got to be. You have to be weather alert. You got to be careful. So, but you guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed watching that. We've got some updates next week on a couple of the cases that we have covered. So I'll bring you that stuff, There's a couple interesting cases out there too. I think we are now up to 14 of the NASA scientists missing. I think we're up to 14 now. And they're starting to really connect the dots. I don't know if we're going to hear anything, but that's pretty scary. And another thing, I just found out that there were drones were stolen, and they spray. Their agricultural drones were stolen in March. So we've got to be very, very vigilant. Be very vigilant. Yes, we love Ryan Hall's a Kentucky boy. We love Ryan Hall, and we watch Max Velocity too. We love them. They're good for the weather. They keep a lot of us safe. I'd love to do it, Lee. But that, I think, for the girls that are interested, and this is very interesting with the time stamps, and this case was really something. Very just sad. Thank you. Great info. Have a great week. We're getting into, oh my goodness, flowers are blooming. So it's spring there. Wonderful. Wonderful. Oh, isn't that nice? Don't you love that, Cindy? Well, keep us updated on your radio show and when you're going to have that interview. And if we can tape it and listen to you, that's wonderful. They're fun. But you guys have a great week. We'll do some updates on Jeezel. The hooker case is still going on. That's got more twists and turns than a turnpike. The Guthrie case, nothing much new on that. Still the DNA. Don't know about that case. I still, for the life of me, cannot understand why they have not done a huge search with either Texas EquiSearch, with Cajun Navy, why they haven't done a flat out big search with the experienced searchers. I don't understand it. I don't get it. Friday by Zoom. Is it a YouTube or radio or both? Is it like Carrie Lynn's? Yes, I will. She said maybe Friday by Zoom. Yes, Guthrie. I don't understand why they don't call in the big boys and get them in there to help search. I don't understand it. So we'll keep an eye on things going on in the skies, and we'll keep an eye out too for the UFO release. Hopefully that'll be coming soon, and all the other news that's breaking. We're gonna have it's a good full moon in May, so at least we can rest. So rest up in May. And thanks so much for tuning in, y'all. Have a great week. And I'll see y'all next week for another episode. And be safe. Be weather safe. Keep Ryan Hall on if your weather gets bad. Thanks so much for tuning in, everybody. Have a great week. Have a great weekend. Thank you. Good night.